Hello, and thank you so much for joining me for today's CMA showcase video. I'm very excited about this one because I'm being joined today by Hazel Llewellin. Hello, Hazel. Thank you for coming. It's lovely to have you here. She's been with the CMA for a long time now and is a dear friend of mine personally also. We know each other back from my Hastings days, which is absolutely wonderful. Many, many happy memories, both of Hastings and, of course, actually wonderful happy memories with all the lovely things that Hazel and I used to get up to as well, which is absolutely gorgeous. But the thing is, aside from being a very, very dear personal friend, Hazel is also the most spectacular practitioner and teacher. And this is why it's so lovely to have Hazel with us today. So thank you so much for taking the time, Hazel. It's really appreciated.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to see you as well, but also, yeah, to
I
share,
know.
share the things
Yeah,
I'm doing.
yes, absolutely, Hazel. So I think probably the best thing to do is just to dive in, really. So we've got viewers and listeners from all over the world, some sort of geographically close and some, across the sea. And so would you be able to start by just explaining a bit about the work that you do? What is it that you're known for?
So I'm known as Hazeology Healing, and the reason for that is, ology is the study of, and I'm Hazel, clearly, and that's really about, everything that I have done over the years and learn and all the modalities. I've just been in so much study, but to embody all of those things, and then to really provide that as a service for people that need it. So that's through energy, through sound, through teaching Reiki and animal healing, and really incorporating the other modalities that I've worked with, which I won't go into because there are many, but it's, body work and reflexology and things. And it's really about making a full holistic approach for people that are coming to one. But the other thing, which is what I'm deeply passionate about, is the animals and the work with them, but also really including, not just the animals, but their owners, and really looking at the unseen threads in our biofields between animals and their guardians, and helping people to really understand their animals better, as well as supporting them with physical, emotional balancing and all the lovely things that we would normally go for as humans. But our animals can also really benefit from those. And likewise, that in turn then benefits the owners. So that is a little bit of some of the work that I have been doing over the years.
Oh, Hazel, it's absolutely amazing. And I have to say also that I've had the privilege of watching you working with horses and ponies some time ago. And I was absolutely shocked. You're fearless. I mean, you are just so amazing because, there is that I think it was a horse and pony rescue place, wasn't it, that we went to. And you were just going up to these beautiful, majestic creatures who'd obviously not had a good time in life. So you never quite know, you never quite know whether a horse is going to lash out. And, if a horse does lash out, it can be literally deadly. But there's
Yes.
something about you can read their energy and you know what they're going to do. And you were going into stables, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, is this okay? Is it safe? And you were taking a horse that would be, or a pony that was quite distressed,
Mhm.
and just working with it and calming it down. It was absolutely extraordinary to see.
Thank you. Yeah, I do remember that. And yeah, there has been a time, I think, when I first started working where I stepped in with a horse into the stable and thought, oh my goodness, actually, I'm in a really tiny space and this horse is huge. He could kick me or,
Yeah.
but as I fought this, because I was unaware at that time of this communication and how animals really feel us, he just stepped aside and gave me more space. And so this really, I think, over time has given me the confidence to know I know what they're doing. I can read that, I can see it, I can feel it. And these are those beautiful unseen threads that I'm doing my best to teach others and to guide them with that. And it's such a joy to work, particularly with animals from some of the sanctuaries as well, to support them because they've had various trauma. But also equally, those other horses that have maybe just landed with their new owner and they're trying to figure each other out, um, support them in that way is just a joy, absolutely. Yes, I think you do have to be fearless, and we never know what animals are going to do. We can feel that in our energy, but there are points and places that we need to be to set boundaries and read their boundaries as well.
Yes. Yes, you can't just, yes, you're absolutely right. And I think this is why, I think it's why it's so exciting seeing you work, because you're so sensitive to their energies. Being such an empath as you are, I think, you're so sensitive to their energies. But also, as you rightly said, they're human guardians, and understanding the energy patterns of the human in the equation as well is so important, isn't it?
It's massively important because we don't realize just how much animals soak in from us humans. You know, they feel everything, and particularly horses, because they have their heart coherence is like 5 times bigger than a human. And so they really feel us on so many levels. And if we're stressed or we're anxious, they literally soak that in like a sponge and they take it on.
Yeah.
And time what that can look like if they don't know how to disperse that or release it, it can then also change their behavior slightly. But normally, because they're mirroring it back to us, because they're trying to highlight to us, okay, there's anxiety. You need to deal with this anxiety, human. Please deal with it. And
Yeah.
we're, swanning around, not dealing with things as
Yes.
people do. And so these animals are screaming at us, trying to sort this out. And so that is, yeah, that's where my work comes in to highlight that and see what's bouncing back and forth. And
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
big that I do want to get out to the wider world is remember that yes, we have pets, we have horses, dog, cats, they're beautiful, but they are great teachers and they are the biggest empaths of all. Um,
Mm.
and they're teaching us so much, but we need to kind of, feel that, see that, and do what we need to do for them as well. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
also because if we're working with them, it's helping them and then it's getting us into a better position as well.
Of course it is, Hazel. Absolutely. So, if anybody wanted if somebody wanted to work with you, tell
Yes.
me a little bit about the types of, tell me about the people that you work with, and the kind, the sort of people that would possibly be attracted to the work that you do.
Yeah, I get a lot of different people. If we were talking particularly about the animals, I do attract a lot of people that have rescue doggies, or race horses, ex-race horses. And it's usually patterns of anxiety and stress within the animals. And sometimes from injury, old injuries, or even there are some people that have contacted me with their dogs where they're having end of life care support with cancer with their animals. And so I support them through that process.
Mm.
So but it's really varied
Mm.
in terms of what people may come for. But particularly, I think in terms of the gardens and the humans that come to me, they're usually already in the holistic world. They know a little bit about it. But I do have the odd people that come through that, are like, I'm on the fence, I'm not sure, but I'd like to try it. And every time it opens their world. And that's just, yeah, it's a beautiful thing to see for sure. But the process is when people come is that they usually contact me for their animal.
Mm.
And 9 times out of 10, I will say the human is needing more than the animal every time, without a doubt. But it's really good. They can connect with their animal more, and then we include them in the session. I know there's lots of other beautiful practitioners that do animal healing, or they may be doing, massage with the animals, but they're not including the owners, the guardians.
Mm.
No, that is such an important part of my work, because that just, yeah, it just helps actually release more from the animal when you work with their owner.
Yes, of course. It's interesting, isn't it? It's sort of like a symbiosis. It's very, very intriguing. Um,
Very,
yeah, yeah, very, very balanced. It's a really beautiful. I sort of see the ecology of that.
mm,
And also the other thing that I must ask you about is that you're an extremely experienced and absolute expert Reiki master as well. So do you use Reiki in the work that you do?
do, yes. So predominantly Reiki is a big part of the work that I do with the animals. And then the rest of my skill set is the animal communication and guidance that I get that comes in. So when I'm working with an animal and I'm doing the Reiki, I feel things in my body. So I can feel if they've got physical pains, I'm feeling their emotions and all of those things. And that's the empath and the animal communication side of it. But they get predominantly like 80% of the session is more Reiki based, which does wonders, so I know you know.
Yes.
for all the levels in terms of lowering their cortisol level, if they're highly stressed. And just, yeah, it puts them into, a lot of the times with horses, they'll, with the Reiki, they know exactly where they want it. They'll move their body, and then you'll see them, you'll see their eyes doe, they'll drop their heads. And the same with dogs and cats. It's the same process. And yeah, I'm still teaching Reiki as well, because there's only one of me and we need more of us. So it's great to pass that wisdom on to others.
Sorry, I just had to mute myself there because it's always the way. There's somebody just going up the path, and Jesse, the CMA dog, is the best guard dog ever. So I don't know if you heard him suddenly kicking off, but I thought out of politeness, and so everybody doesn't get deafened by his enormous gruff bark. So yeah, sorry about that, Hazel. Anyway, no harm done. But yeah, it's really truly fascinating to me, Hazel. But also, the other thing that you do is you do a lot of space holding, don't you? And sound work and so on. You're such a woman of so many talents. So tell us a little bit about all of that, if you don't mind.
Because I love to meet people at different, different spaces, because some people are ready for the deep work and
Mm,
others aren't. They're just dipping their toe into energy, or they're just dipping their toe. And I think sound is such a beautiful way to people that can receive and they can balance their energies.
mm,
Haven't got to do anything. They don't need to come with intentions. They can just come in and land into the space. And yeah, I hold beautiful sound sessions, which now include my voice, which has been a whole other journey. So I'm channeling songs which hold a beautiful vibration frequency to the people that are receiving it in the room. And it takes you on a very, I would say, very shamanic journey.
mm,
It will lead you through the different worlds in that sense. But equally, if you were somebody to come who didn't know anything about energy, or, you could just come in, lay and receive, and you're going to feel deeply relaxed. And it's going to de-stress you and support all of your systems, and also help recalibrate you. If you've had poor sleep, it can help really reset that. And that's something that I kind of focus the sessions on. And the other thing that kind of I add into the sounds now is I'm holding, because I did a beautiful cacao leadership course with Native Wisdom Hub in Peru, and got to sit with the beautiful Quero tribe and Shipipo tribe, which was an absolute honor. And just to be in the land there, but to really understand how cacao really supports us and helps us with our heart health, just opening our heart and helping us to also release emotions that may be stored and stuck and held in the body. And
mm.
I'm blending that into as well.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. It's just fascinating, Hazel. So, if anybody's excited, and I'm sure everybody listening and watching is excited by this, because you've got so much that you offer, I suppose the best thing to really do is to send people to the website.
Yeah.
Yes, would that work for you?
Yes, it's the best way, because if you go to hazeologyhealing.com, you'll be able to see all of the services. I am in the process of updating again, as always, with all the different things, but you can contact me there, and my WhatsApp number is there. So if people, if they wanted to directly contact me that way, then they can. But the website, yeah, is the place to go.
Fantastic. Yes, that's absolutely wonderful. And then on the teaching side of things, can you just, if you just finish off by talking about, if somebody wants to come and train with you,
Yeah.
what is it that you're offering there?
So I'm offering Reiki courses, so Reiki 1, 2, and 3. And I do them one-to-one individually, if people need that, because of the type of journey that it can lead you on, self-discovery as well as all the beautiful energy. And I do that in groups also. And I also teach animal Reiki. So they are two separate courses. And when people come for that, it's not just, you come for a weekend and you do your course. You are supported through your 21-day process. We have another lovely review Zoom session, and really you've got me for life. So once you join, you're stuck with me, because I really like to support my students and make sure, every step of the way, wherever they are, maybe if they've done Reiki for a bit and they've done their course, and then maybe a year down the line, things change and they need that support is ongoing. That's something that's really I'm very passionate about. for sure.
Yes. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. And I've just got to sort of reiterate, really, I think, Hazel, that you're so generous with the work that you do, and the way that you are in the world. And anybody who's lucky enough to be able to come and, perhaps be in one of your circles or work with you as a client or work with you as a student, they are genuinely very, very blessed and very, very lucky because, you don't get many of you to the pound. You're very unique, and so it is something that that I really want to emphasize. And for that, a lot of the work that you do is just spectacular. You were one of our nominees in the CMA awards, and it was such a close call. We had over 800 entrants for the awards, and you were right up there in the CMA Awards. Absolutely outstanding achievement, really extraordinary. So, I think you're putting such beautiful work out into the world, and I just really want to thank you for that, Hazel.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing.
That means me coming from you, yeah, as we've known each other for a long time, but really from the CMA, I just think everything that you do and the work that goes into it is really spectacular, and we're so supported. And I think that really makes, practitioners want to do more and thrive more. And yeah, so super grateful for
Oh,
that. Absolutely.
oh, no, thank you for saying that. That's really, really kind of you, Hazel. Thank you. Well, look, I shall let you go because I know you've got a client to get to. So, lucky client. That's all I
Yeah,
can say. Have a beautiful afternoon, Hazel, and thank you so much for taking this time to join me today.
thank you, Jayney.